Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are, what city, what state. Just turn this radio down a little bit. I just figured I would invite everybody to once again join us. We will be live. The plan is, if everything goes according to plan, we will be live tomorrow, which will be Thursday at about 12:15 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you set your reminder, and that will let you know exactly what time it is in your time zone, in your country too, since we have been reaching lots of different countries just with the podcast. I don't know what the YouTube numbers are or the Rumble numbers are or anything like that, but just with the podcast, we're reaching many different countries, so it's always interesting to see that. But tomorrow we are going to continue the discussion, and I want to hear some other people's views on this fake police document. So that will be the goal. I feel like I've kind of said everything that I wanted to say so far, but it will be good to get other people's views and see what they think about this fake document that is tied to the case. And there are people that don't know. Let me try to summarize it as best I can. It does, it takes a little while to kind of process it. It took me a little while to try to process exactly what the heck I'm looking at. So on Tony Floyd's website, there is a one-page document. It's only one page, and it's meant to look like it was created by Apple Valley Police Detective Shane Klokonas. Shane Klokonas has stated in an affidavit that he did not create that document. So then the question obviously is, well, who created it then? Somebody created it, obviously. So if you look on Tony Floyd's website, I think it's crowleycasemurders.neocities.org. I could be wrong, but it's something like that. But if you look on his website, he says that it came from Joe Tomato. So that is the source as far as we know. And so again, that is where we're basically at, is trying to figure out, okay, who created this fake document, acting like they were Detective Shane Klokonas. And then of course the other question is why. This was brought to our attention, to my attention, and Sophia too. This was brought to our attention through a letter from the Apple Valley City Attorney. Now, prior to this letter from the Apple Valley City Attorney, Christine Cassellius, I really didn't pay any attention to this one-page fraudulent document because it looks so much like the real 5-page examination report. I thought we were looking at the same thing, but apparently no. Apparently, what it looks like somebody did is they took the top half of the real document and created this letter from Shane Klokonas to Tommy Booth. So that will be interesting too. It'll be, it would be good, and maybe we can, thinking of things to kind of what do we do to follow up on it. Now that Detective Shane Klokonas has stated that he didn't write it, I don't know, maybe it's not even relevant, maybe it's not worth it, or worth Apple Valley's time, but maybe get Tommy Booth to also say that I didn't receive it. So anyways, but that was pretty fascinating information that we just got yesterday. So yesterday morning, the affidavit, it's dated September 20th, and it was sent to us on that same day. At the same time, Sophia and I received it at the same time. So pretty interesting stuff there. We'll see how all of that pans out. That's where we are with that one. But tomorrow, I'm hoping to have Sophia on, to have Catherine on, to have William Rail on. Maybe Eric Spitfire Wilkinson might join us too. But if anybody else wants to join us, send me a message to thegraystage@gmail.com. if you're part of the group, I'll be more than happy to send you the information. But we are planning to do it live. Sometimes the live thing doesn't work out, but the goal is to do it live. It will be recorded, so if something goes wrong and we're not able to do it live, then we'll just do it kind of what I did with the video that I made, where it's pretty much live to tape, so there won't be any edits or anything like that. But I think this show will be a little bit better because I've had time to kind of process what I'm reading here. Not only that, but we'll have some visuals up on the screen, so we'll be able to go through the actual documents, and we'll talk about it. I felt like that was one of the things that was lacking in my video, is that you couldn't, I didn't do any screen shares just because of time's sake and everything. So we'll definitely do that this time, and it'll be interesting to see what people think about it. But it just goes to show, it never pays to be shady. It never pays to play games, anything like that. And so I hope Joe Tomaso has learned his lesson. Now, I don't know if he actually created it, but again, according to Tony Floyd, he is the source. Tomaso is the source, and it seems to be verified. It seems to be verified there. And I think that's all I wanted to say about that for now, obviously. But I'll be curious to get other people's views and thoughts, and we'll kind of discuss that. But the other thing is, we do have a source that has been able to kind of shed some clarifications on certain things related to the Crowley case. The source does not want to be named, does not want to be out in public, is not worried about anything, just doesn't want, this person does not want their name out there. But this source was talking about January 19th and Chris Klein, when Chris Klein's truck was spotted at David Crowley's residence. Now, what the source says is that Chris Klein's car or truck, right, the camo truck, drove by slowly a couple times back and forth by David's house before actually stopping at David's house. I thought that was kind of curious. I thought that was very curious as to why, if you're just there to just do whatever, why kind of slowly drive by a couple times. You just would go there. It was like he was staking it out. The source was not sure if there was multiple people in the car or if it was just Klein. So, but that was one that really stuck out. The source also claimed that on Halloween, David, Kamel, and Rania were at their house. I don't know if they were trick-or-treating or passing out candy, but the source, talked to them and was able to, said nothing. There was nothing weird, nothing strange, or anything like that. And it kind of goes against. I was talking with Dan Hinnon about this, and he was like, it kind of goes against the theory that Kamel was a hostage in her own home. It doesn't. This is one more thing. It doesn't appear like there's any truth to that. She was a hostage in her own home. They're walking around freely. They're outside, and they're just acting normal. So that was another thing that the source said. I'm trying to think if there was anything else there. There was a couple other things. I don't have my notes with me, but we'll be covering a little bit more on that. But there's just some more stuff to it, I guess. I wish I could remember off the top of my head some of the other things, but some of the things about David's behavior that is mentioned in the police reports, some of that, there's other sides to it, I guess. It's not really that big of a deal with some of these things. So But we'll be going over that a little bit more in depth too at some point. But I thought that those were, there was a few other things that stuck out to me, but I can't remember exactly what they were right now, of course. But that was the big one, was that Chris Klein, was kind of driving by slowly, very suspiciously. Maybe that's not the correct word, but it was just kind of, the source found it strange that they would, kind of driving by a couple times before actually stopping there. So that was another thing there. But that's probably all that I can share for right now from that source. There is more. There is some more. But again, it's just all background stuff. Just kind of some clarifications on certain things of how David was. Nothing abnormal, but he kept to himself, seemingly. And I'll try to pull up those notes here, because I know I'm not really doing a good job at relaying that. But nothing strange, nothing out of the ordinary. Kamel was a very outgoing person, very outgoing, very friendly. So, other than that, not too much strange stuff, but we'll go over some of that at a later point. But with this whole thing, this fraudulent document, it's just, it's very troublesome that someone would create that and pass it to anybody, whether you're passing it to just Tony Floyd or to Tony Floyd and other people too, and there's documentation that backs up what Tony is saying too, so don't forget that. So the letter from the Apple Valley City Attorney, again, thank you to whoever did send that in to them, because they didn't know about it. So it was good, whoever sent that in, so that now they do know, and we'll see if they're going to take any other steps towards that. Is this impersonating a police officer? Is one of the questions that came up. Would that qualify as impersonating a police officer? I mean, morally, yes, definitely. Legally, I would also think so, yes. I mean, that's a big deal, right? Why would you even do that, first of all? But what would be the punishment for that? So that'll be another thing that I hope that the city attorney kind of follows up on, because if they don't, then this could happen a second, third time. We don't know. This is the only one that we know about too, and it's only because Tony Floyd has put it on his website, shown the actual document there. So we don't know if there's other documents floating that have been passed around to try to make David look guilty. And that's the thing. That's what the document is there for, right? It is worded very, very weird. First of all, it's to Tommy from Shane. That's kind of weird. Like that's how detectives talk. I don't know. I mean, I guess I have no idea. But and maybe because we do have some other email exchanges between the detectives and the BCA, et cetera, so maybe that's how they talk. But for someone to put in that much effort to fake a document just shows the desperation that some people have in trying to trick people into thinking David Crowley is guilty. But we know it's a phony document. Apple Valley City Attorney has confirmed that. And they seem to leave the door open. They haven't said, we're no longer discussing this or anything. So that's all public stuff, and anybody can contact the Apple Valley City Attorney. In the document on my website, I believe it does have Christine's name, and only do it if you're really serious about it too, but it's definitely something that I plan on following up on. Hopefully, maybe we can get them on. Maybe we can get the city attorney on to give a couple statements, a couple quotes or something like that. I think that would be good too. But I'd be willing to help. I don't know how I could help, but if I can, I definitely will. But I do hope that they follow through on that, and that they figure out, and more so to just make sure that people stop. They stop the games. They stop these the trickery that we continually see from the same cast of characters. So, Joe Tomato needs to respond to it. He needs to say where he got this document from and why he was passing it out. But the fake document itself, you could totally tell it's just meant to make, oh yeah, David's guilty. He had extensive drug use, he wasn't sleeping, etc., etc. So I mean, it's just crazy. But it's not like it's not like any of that proves anything to say, okay, this is what happened. David Crowley, did this. He did the actual killing. It's not there in this. The real document, the 5-page document, you can compare that to that 1-pager, and you can see the big difference. So, it's too bad. It's too bad that someone wanted to create that fake document and then kind of spread that out there. But again, we're thankful to Mr. Tony Floyd for making that available to the public on his website. That's where I first saw it, and I'm sure that's where many of you first saw it too. I glazed at it, didn't even recognize it until the Apple Valley City attorney sent me that letter. If they wouldn't have, I probably wouldn't have even noticed that there were 2 documents with the same date, the same header, the same everything at the top. But I would have just thought, okay, maybe that was part that was taken out or something. I don't know. But so again, Tony helps expose these frauds, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I hope they learn their lesson. Don't create the fake documents. Your time is better spent on just proving David Crowley guilty. And if you can't do that, then I get it. I understand why you're doing all this trickery and all these games, because that's all you got, and it's an act of desperation. It's what desperate people do. Not people that are really searching for truth, that really want to find out what the truth is. That is just making things more corrupted. It's corrupting this investigation. It's corrupting this case, and it's needless, and it's disrespectful to David Crowley. It's disrespectful to the family, disrespectful to his real friends, disrespectful to everyone who really cares about this case and wants to find out what the truth is. So they got busted. It happens. You have to admit that, admit what you did, and then suffer the legal consequences of it. So that's pretty much it. So Joe Tomato, if you didn't create it, you should go to the Apple Valley Police and let them know where you got this from. Simple as that. Simple as that. But it was created. It is out there. It is verified that it is a fraudulent document, and of course it's not surprising at all to many people. It's just it's so unnecessary. Some of these things are just so unnecessary. But again, it's time that is spent in the wrong area. The time with the case should be spent on the case, okay? Not on creating fake documents or playing games or distractions, which again, Tony Floyd's website shows that's exactly what these cast of characters are doing. That's their goal. That's what they do, is to create the distractions to play games, white lies, whatever you want to call it. It has nothing to do with truth. So that's why the Justice for David Crowley and Family Facebook group, we are the ones who are seeking truth and getting to the truth, and each day that goes by, there's a little more truth that comes out. So, it's not a big focus for me. The fraudulent document, it is a big deal, but it's not my primary focus. Obviously, the primary focus is still getting the case reopened. If that helps get the case reopened, awesome. I mean, maybe it will. Maybe it'll lead us down that path too, which would be great, because because that is the real goal here. But I do believe it's going to show more and more people that, man, you know, there really is a fake group out there who is just playing all of these games and is not really interested in providing, you know, a comprehensive video or an explanation, something to explain why David Crowley is guilty. I've made 3 now. One was 2 minutes, one was 3 minutes, another one was 17 minutes, and it all pretty much shows you why David Crowley is not guilty. So, and it can't be debated. It just can't. So if you're going to debate something, debate that video. That's all I got for you. You know, I don't have time for haters. I don't have time for trolls. For years I've been stating that I block people. It's not anything new. If you don't know that I block people, then you're not paying attention. I put it in my last video. I put it in many videos. I've shared screenshots of people that have created fake accounts, and I've blocked all of those too, and I will continue to, because their purpose is to distract and to get people to react, and that's, you know, okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, that's how you want to spend your life, you know, wasting your time. Nothing off my shoulder. I'll respond to whatever I want to, but, you know, I'm not really interested in feeding trolls. So let the trolls eat cake and they can figure it out for themselves. But really, it only brings more eyes to us. So I would not concern myself too much with it. It would be laughable if it wasn't so sad, you know, just sad human beings, miserable people. That's what they do, you know. People with no real moral compass, no positivity in life. So, whatever. That's what happens. God's gonna get you. And you see it. We saw it firsthand here. Busted. Right, completely busted with the fake document. And hopefully it's the last. Hopefully people have learned their lesson and they won't do it again. Or else, you know, there's always going to be legal consequences to things like that. And not just legal consequences, but it's just more, it just shows a lot of people the shadiness of people who are trying to desperately prove to you that David Crowley is guilty without any evidence or anything like that. They know they can't prove it, and so they just play all these weird games and stuff to just kind of, you know, I don't know, to cast doubt, I guess. I think I was like, why would somebody do this? You know, why? That's why, you know, we were discussing the document, and hopefully we'll discuss the why. We can theorize on it. I don't know why. I don't understand why. I don't understand why somebody would do that. But again, it just shows the level of stupidity in some people to do that, to take a document like that. And, you know, I don't get it. I don't get it, folks. But again, join us tomorrow, and that will be Thursday. Go to the channel. Well, if you're watching this, you're probably already on the channel. So set the reminder. I will put the notification up there soon, so make sure that you do that. And join us live. Join us live in the live chat room. And like I said, if you want to call in, if you want to be a part of the show, we'll make that a part of it too. So I think there's a few people that did want to be a part of it. So I will reach out to those people hopefully today and let them know that, hey, we are going to go live tomorrow, and if you want to join in and give your thoughts on this or thoughts on anything else related to the case, great. Happy to have you. So God bless you all, and until then, until tomorrow around 12:15 p.m. Pacific time, I'm Greg Fernandez Jr., and God bless you all.